Summer is in session at Icon Park. Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 3 of Summer Sessions, a Carlton Media Preseason podcast. I'm your host, Christian Filippo. Rose Zaruki is back on producing duties today. And, well, we're making Summer Sessions podcast history today because this is the first time that we're welcoming someone back. It may be a good call. It might not be. We'll see how we go for the next half an hour. Winding it back to Season 1, this man on my left was joined by someone else that day, Lewis Young, who I'm sure we'll find out a bit more about today. But he's back today as a solo guest, marking his official rise to the senior list of the Carlton Football Club. Jordan Boyd, welcome back to Summer Sessions.
It's good to be back. Good to be the first repeat, and good to be here without Lewis.
I'm excited. We had Lewis there to kind of
He did a lot of carrying back then. He did a lot. I'll give it to him. He did a lot of carrying.
You didn't love media back then, but you've kind of got
probably
used
like
to
my third thing I'd ever done.
I think so. Yeah. Well, one thing that hasn't changed from that day is the first question remains the same. And of course, you're a big fan of the show and you listen every week. So
it's the karaoke one.
He does know. That's nice.
Yeah.
So I've got it written down what you said last time. So I want to know if you
Toto Africa. Did I say that last time? Yeah. Stick with that answer.
Sticking with it.
Sticking with that answer.
I thought you'd have something. I thought you might go something a bit more niche, but
no, Toto Africa, banger. Is there another song in history that has Kilimanjaro, Mount Olympus, and Serengeti in the same song? No.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Bang.
I feel like you're the one to answer that question.
Yeah, let alone in the same song. It's in the same sentence. Banger of a song.
Banger of a song.
Banger
so sticking with Toto Africa.
It's correct.
You can't go wrong with that. Good answer. Well done. Good off season.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Not everyone else. Yeah.
No, it was good. Oh, yours could have been good as well.
Yeah.
No, it was good. Good to have a bit of time off. I was a little bit injured at the end of the last year, so did a bit of rehab leading up to the BNF and then went away for a bit, which was nice.
Have you been to Europe before?
Oh, this is a stitch up.
Have you been? I'm asking, have you been?
Yes, you know I have.
Yeah. You went a few years ago, actually. You kept talking about it, and you went back over the European summer, and
I did.
You spoke about it again.
Yeah, correct. Well, isn't that what you do when you go away? Tell people what you did?
Yeah.
Especially when they ask you?
How was this one compared to the last one?
No, it was good. Very good. This one was a lot more chill and relaxing, which is nice. A bit more wholesome, this one.
Family?
Yeah, a lot more family involved in this one. My sister moved to London at the start of the year, so I got to go see her, and Mum and Dad were there, and they used to live there, so I got the full rundown. Dad took me around your favourite place, Stamford Bridge, talking me through how he used to go back in the 90s and watch all the games, which was pretty cool. And then, did the tour of that. Actually sat where they signed all the players and stuff, which was pretty cool. They signed my man,
Your
Neto.
man, Pedro Neto, yeah.
He's the last player that got signed there, so that was pretty cool. And then, got to hang out with my sister, which was good. Good to see her. And then, it was in Italy as well with my partner, Grace. I met a small portion.
A very small portion. How many people?
So they said, sorry, we had a dinner one night and they're like, oh, we apologise. There's not going to be too many family members. Only 22 rocked up out of the 80. So
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And I couldn't speak any Italian and they could barely speak English. So it was great fun.
But from what I understand, you made it work.
Yeah. Grace speaks a little bit, so that was handy. And one of her cousins was pretty much our Google translator the whole time. She could speak both, so that was very handy.
Well, normally on this podcast, we start with the personal stuff, then go into footy. But I feel like we have to flip it because this podcast could go anywhere at a certain point. So let's get the footy chat out of the way early.
Right. It'll be very quick.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it'll be very quick, the footy chat.
So how are you?
Yeah, good. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be training. It's been pretty solid first couple of weeks. I've been loving it. It's good to be back training with the boys. No matter how hard you train in the preseason, it's always a lot harder doing it by yourself or even in small groups. And then day one, it's usually a big step up no matter how much you've done because everyone's there and it gets pretty competitive pretty quickly. The old two-hand touch turns into tackling within 2 seconds. So, no, it's been good. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Body?
Going all right. Still recovering a little bit from that injury, which is pretty normal. So, just trying to work through that at the moment. But hopefully soon we'll turn the corner and we'll be ready to go.
What was the injury for those who aren't aware? It was a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, it was. So I tore the adductus longus off the bone, which is your adductor, some tendon, I believe.
Very scientific that you are, yep.
Yeah, well, I got to pull the big words out. But yeah, I did that in the first 5 minutes of that game. And then, yeah, we already had 2 injuries by that point. And for some reason, well, I was more like, yeah, I can keep playing. And then, yeah, after the game, I was pretty sore. Quite funny. Can I stitch you up in this bit?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I?
I didn't realize it was going to come 4 minutes in, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to cop a few from you in this, so
Yeah,
I've got to get one back,
yeah,
don't I?
probably at some point, yeah.
Well, so for those who don't know, I obviously got injured in the first 5 minutes, but went on to play 70 minutes of game time and didn't touch the ball. So I had donuts stats, which I thought was quite funny at the time. And
I wouldn't have done this with anyone else if it wasn't.
yeah,
I
it was
thought
fun.
that-
Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It was funny. I'll stand up for you. But 2 minutes after the team talk, I'm walking out of the change room. It's pretty sore. And you handed me a donut, which was quite funny. At the time, I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I would have probably done the same thing. But
But the best bit is that I then took the donut off you because I
yeah,
wanted to eat it
I
myself.
know. I know. Could have at least given it to me to eat. But yeah, no, that was a pretty funny day.
Not the way you wanted
really,
2024 to end.
Yeah,
of
no.
course. But season as a whole, feel like it was a really, really good one for you.
Yeah, good to get some continuity in my season. Obviously, in previous years, I've only played a max of 7 games. So I was just looking forward to playing a fair few in a row and seeing where that takes me, and just learning the system and playing with the same pretty much 7 the whole year. There might have been a couple in and out, but yeah, just building that connection. I thought it was really good, and getting that exposure at that level and starting to feel more comfortable week by week.
We mentioned it at the top of the show, but it also resulted in you officially making the move from the rookie list to the senior list. That's nice.
Yeah, no, it's good. I don't know if it means a whole heap,
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. I've had a lot of people congratulate me and like ask what it means. I'm like, oh, I don't think it means too much, but it's nice to be on the senior list. I guess I'm officially an AFL player.
Well, it used to be a big deal
Yeah.
because rookies couldn't play unless there was an injury, but
Correct.
it kind of does mean the same thing. But
Yeah.
are there any perks that are involved with being on the senior list? You get a bigger locker or anything, or is it just it's the same?
It's just the same, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe a different spot in the photo. I don't know.
Maybe.
I have to wait.
Oh, congratulations all the same.
Oh, thank you. No,
did
it's
you
good.
did you even know that you were moving, or was it just it just happened one day?
I think I did know because I
At
know.
some point,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I knew that you could only be on their rookie list for 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think it is. So I think I did know that I had to be elevated.
Well, you're on the senior list now. You've got a few games under your belt as well, like over the last 2 seasons. How many games or how many years in the system will you have to play to be no longer referred to as the boy from Spotswood?
No, I hope that continues. I
You wanna
like that
keep it?
tag. Yeah. No, there's been some good players come out of Spotty.
Well, go on. Here's your time.
Oh, well, obviously got Cal Ward,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Played against him. Actually got a photo with him and Fogg after the game, which is actually, I know we lost that game, but that was pretty cool. Pretty special moment. And then the greatest Lebanese player to play the game. Sorry, Sadi. Bashir Hooley.
Not Adam Sard, just want to specify that.
Correct.
Will you ever stop saying that line, ever?
No, because
Just to remind him?
Just got to remind him
Yeah.
that he's
First Sardi mention of the episode, by the way, and I'm sure there'll be
yeah,
many
there'll be a
more.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, with that move and kind of the year itself, kind of how do you hope that springboards you into 2025?
Yeah, I just would like to continue off, obviously, a good year. Felt like the back end of the year wasn't as strong as the front half, so building that consistency throughout the year and playing that role to the best of my abilities, and yeah, just being the best teammate I guess I can be, and trying to just elevate myself to that next level and chase that.
As I mentioned, the boy from Spotswood, you're still referred to as that. You were playing Western Region Footy League up until 2021, maybe?
Yeah, I played the year I drafted. Yeah.
Obviously, the off-season is a period of reflection for everyone because the cut and trust of footy, you don't get the chance to reflect all that much. Do you ever sit there at any point and just kind of pinch yourself and go, how am I here? How did this all happen at any point?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
There's been a few moments where it's like half time and like you've had a coach's meeting. I'm like, all right, cool, yep, very serious. And then I'm like, locked in. And then I walk up the race and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? There's been a couple of times where I've like thought that. And And then, yeah, in the off season, like all your mates are working and you're like, I'm just like running around, I guess. Obviously working very hard.
Of course.
But like sometimes I do pinch myself a fair bit. And yeah, it's still a bit wild, but it's starting to sink in that I do belong at that level. So that's good.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that mid-season draft of 2021, like it was a very weird time, and there's not quite the pomp and circumstance of the national draft that happened a few weeks ago with Jagger and the Camperellis and the like, but kind of felt right that was the kind of the way that you entered the AFL system.
No, I agree. Like, come in the old, like obviously a different path to everyone else, and even before that, like didn't play interleague or Western Jets or anything like that, and probably fair enough as well. I was probably a fair bit off. But yeah, I reckon that was probably my way of getting in, and I reckon it's really good. We've got a few good pickups. I reckon Cooper Lord going to be the best mid-season draft at the club's picked up, I reckon, for sure. He's going to be a gun. So yeah, no, I like it.
I think we spoke a few months ago, and you mentioned how it's probably this year, being at a club, playing more regularly, and at a club with such a massive fan base, you have started to get recognised a little bit more. How has that sat with you?
Yeah, I mean, it is strange.
Yeah.
Like you're just walking around and someone says your name, and I kind of panic sometimes. Like, oh, they're talking to me. Oh, hey, yeah, how you going?
Hello.
But yeah, it is pretty cool. Not a lot of people get to play in front of 85,000 people most weekends at packed MCG, so that's pretty special and pretty cool. Normally, if I do get recognised, I'm with like some of the bigger players though, so they get recognised first, and then I put 2 and 2 together.
You must be one of them.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
Well, also helps that you're playing the long sleeves and the headband.
Yeah. I remember last year, one of the games, I didn't wear the long sleeve for the first time, and a lot of
Outrageous,
people...
by the way.
Well, I mean...
I think it was quite hot that day, but still.
No, I think it was because they didn't make the long sleeve in that jumper. So, yeah, a few people were like, oh, my friends were like saying, no, did that kid with the long sleeve play? Because I couldn't see him out there. And like I wear it because it's easy to spot from a nan on the TV.
Yeah.
A lot of time. And you did bully me into wearing it.
You didn't always, like, you weren't a long sleeve wearer from before Carlton. Like, it was Carlton Reserves days where you wore it for the first time.
I remember one day, you're like, oh, you should wear the long sleeve today. You and Anthony, he convinced me.
Commonly known as
Meatball.
Yeah.
You convinced me, and I think I went all right that day. So I was like,
kicked a goal that day.
Yeah, and I reckon I was like, oh, I'll keep rocking it.
Well, you kicked a goal that day, and it took you a while to replicate that at AFL level.
Oh, don't get me started on this.
But you did get there.
Yeah, we did get there.
That Geelong goal, first of all, again, another capacity crowd. You played in a few of them this year. What was that moment like for you?
That was pretty cool. I did think immediately, because I knew Grace wasn't going to be there for the first half, and I kicked a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game. I was like, whoops. Because she has said you're not allowed to kick a goal when I'm not there. And she wasn't there.
And you haven't kicked one since.
And I haven't kicked one since. Yeah, correct. No, it was good to finally kick one. My dad has given me a lot of stick for missing. He's threatened to take me to Spotty after a game because I missed a few. But yeah, no, it's good. It was good to kick a goal finally.
Well, you spoke a lot in the lead up to your first goal about goal celebrations, and we love goal celebrations chat on this podcast. And
yeah,
I think there might have been a Fernando Alonso inspired celebration with Mitch McGovern that you had choreographed it.
We had, but he didn't play that day, did he?
I'm not sure if he played that day, but also you just seemed to lose.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I did kind of like freak out, and I was like, oh, finally kicked a goal. And Kempy did like get to me quickly, so, but
Elijah Hollins was closest to you, but
he didn't realise it was my first goal, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I didn't realise it was your first goal. And I was trying to run it because I knew Youngie was somewhere back there to get around him.
Shout out to Lewis, of course.
Shout out to Lewis. But yeah, Kempy stopped that. And then, it was on.
And then you got mobbed.
Then I got mobbed.
Well, you could have had that moment about 6 weeks earlier, and I'm sure this is one that you're referencing about your dad. Take a courageous mark against Richmond in the last quarter in round 1 at the MCG.
I know.
How much... You missed the shot.
It was Blake's fault.
How much do you blame Blake Acres?
100%.
Please tell the story.
I take the mark, and I'm not that far out, pretty in front.
You prefer on the run anyway, as opposed to shots, is that correct?
Well, I mean, not really, because I keep missing them as well. But yeah, I was taking a set shot and Blake's like, "This is gonna be your first goal. This is gonna be your first goal." Before I'd even got back to the top of my mark, I was like, "Oh no!" But nah, I just kicked it too hard.
It looked good to start with.
Yeah, no, I just knew I kicked it too hard.
Okay. Got the win.
That's my problem at the moment. I'm
Important
kicking
point.
too hard.
I think it was a close game.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, at that point, we hadn't lost the game. I've kicked it behind it, so.
True. Keep kicking behind it.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually like that Geelong moment actually wasn't my favourite goal celebration moment involving you this year. Came 2 weeks later against Melbourne. Pito kicks a goal from about 58 against Max Gore. We love Pito's white line fever.
Yeah.
Love him in general.
Yeah.
His teammates get to him, gives them nothing.
He's angry.
He's an angry man. He's fired up for this game.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you come into shot, and just the biggest childish smile comes over his face of all time.
I think I was screaming at him or something. I was making some funny noise and he laughed. But
And you
yeah,
cracked him.
I have seen the footage of that and it is quite funny because as soon as I leave, he goes back to being like dead face and angry.
Yeah, but it's just whatever you're saying to him, whatever you said to him beforehand, like it worked.
I was pretty pumped up because he's also one of my good mates. So
Yeah.
I was like sprinting over to get around him. But I have seen the footage of that and it is quite funny.
Well, I'd like to get into this because everyone knows Jordan Boyd and Lewis Young, Boydie, Youngie and Sardi. They're the three. Yourself and Mark Pitnet.
Yeah.
You are very close.
We are, yeah. Not a lot of people. I seem to be friends with people that are taller than me as well. It's a bit of a trend there.
Just hang out around the big boys.
Yeah, make myself look really small.
Yeah.
We hang out a fair bit. We both absolutely love Formula One, so there's a lot of Formula One chat between us. And then I'm hanging out a fair bit. Our partners get along well as well.
I was going to say Grace and Lisa are very tight.
Yeah. So we've had them over for dinner. They've had us over for dinner. I actually taught Peter how to chop properly, which was quite funny.
I did hear this. Yep.
Yeah. But no,
it's changed his kitchen experience.
Yeah, he's cooking a fair bit at the moment. He sends me all the photos he's been cooking. I'm pretty sure he cooks for like Elise and her friends on some nights.
Wow. It's coming after your brand, Jordan.
Yeah, no, he's going well. I'm impressed with some of the stuff he's putting up.
Will Youngie be impressed that we weren't talking about him? Do you want to get some Lewis love out of the way?
Well, he just texted me asking if what's going on here. I don't know what his response will be with that, but we can if we want, yeah.
But obviously you were close from your Bulldogs game. Oh, the Footscray days, is that correct?
No.
You knew him from Footscray.
I knew him. I don't know if he knew me. Operation. Because he was a big shot up there.
So how did that all come about?
I actually remember one game he absolutely sprayed me. And it was my second game playing backline.
Did you need it? Did you deserve it?
I mean, it was probably there. He was also not in a very good mood. He'd just been dropped from the ones.
Right.
Was out at Blacktown in the Giants.
Yeah.
And I may have done something wrong a little bit. And it was my second game playing backline. And he just let me have it. I was like, oh, all right, no worries. Probably fair enough. But
and
at the
there
same
you
time, yeah. And then,
so it worked out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You give him a lot of flack for not being a very nice man, but he is a very nice man.
Yeah, to in front of the camera and to new people.
I think to most people except you.
Nah, I promise you, he's starting to warm up around here and he can dish it out pretty well.
I want it on the record that I love Lewis Young, and anything you say to the contrary is incorrect.
Why? From me?
Yeah, just in general.
Me say that?
Yeah.
Do I have to?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm just saying I think...
Oh, you.
He's a great boy.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, just, yeah. In front of a camera, he's going to put up the front, I guess, of a nice boy.
That's fine. Well, back to Pito. He's part of a heavy Italian contingent that is back at the Carlton Football Club.
See.
Well done. Well, this is what I want to get to. So we've got Jack Silvani, Adam Chera, Razio Fantasia, the two Campo boys now.
Yeah, true.
Pito, Alex Cincotta. I'd argue that you're the most Italian of the lot. Or you act the most Italian of the lot. Is that fair?
I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it.
How did this all come about? Is this from your partner Grace, or you just...
Yeah, well, she's Italian.
Yeah.
And then we started there's a group chat, including staff as well, called Cucino Mafioso, which is kitchen mafia in Italian.
Yeah, which you've started yourself.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny just to... Because I kept making pasta and stuff before games, and I kept sending it to 5 different people. So I was like, I'll just make a group chat.
Yeah.
It's just easier. And then called it that. And then, yeah, it's kind of run with there. I've got to actually add a few of those.
Could add a
boys
few more.
But, yeah, we just send in photos of Italian food or Italian things.
And it's great.
It's great, yeah. You're obviously in it.
I am in it. None of my inventions ever make it.
Yeah, you got to
Well,
send a few
it's
more in.
because like I can't make anything of the sort. But I will give a shout out. My mum listens to every show, and Edda, if you're watching, your lasagna has made it to the
it has
to the group chat.
My mum's lovely as well,
and it goes down very well. So, and thanks for your support of the podcast. Looking forward to that one. Looking forward to her hearing that one tomorrow. But there was a photo of you in the Virgin Lounge a few years ago. I think it was before the prelim final against Brisbane, and you had dropped Italian playing cards. And all the comments were, "Oh, I wonder which of the players has taught Jordan Boyd how to play."
That is incorrect. I knew how to play. Because this came about because of a flight to Perth.
Yeah.
And like Meatball was playing Scopper on his phone, and I was like, "Oh, are you playing Scopper?" And he looked at me like,
how do you know what this is?
How do you know that? I was like, "Oh, I play it with Grace's family," and I learnt there, and then we played we played at lunch a couple times. So I haven't done it yet this year. Need to do that soon.
Well, it feels like this is the perfect club for you to kind of surround yourself with that.
Yeah, true.
There was also a salami making day at Len Villani's place. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. I did go along to that. That was great fun, actually.
Yeah.
No, I love that. It was really cool to learn how to do it. I actually want to try and do it myself, but I'm scared I'll probably.
Well, they made you get to work by all reports.
Yeah, they did. I was terrified. I reckon I was more nervous than playing. Because they were
than your first game, for example.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I was terrified that I'd stuff this up because they had everyone doing the process and they've been doing it for years. And then I just thought I'd just be like standing there and doing like the easy stuff, just being the newbie. But like, no, get in there. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was very scared. But I had a great day. It was good.
Have the results come out yet? Or
no, that was great. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Very much enjoyed it.
Nice. Well done. Proud of you.
No, thank you. Got to get to a sauce making day. So, Razio.
When Raz arrived, he said he wanted to start a sauce making day.
Yeah,
and I haven't heard anything since.
Yeah, well, Dad's planted a heap of tomatoes. So, even if it's not with him, I'll just give it a crack.
Who did this, your dad?
Yeah, Dad.
Is he going to involve himself in something else Carlton related, is he?
What do you mean?
Well, he's at everything else. So
yeah, I know.
Like you said for you, there's a few pinch yourself moments. I don't think he's come to terms with the fact that his son is playing AFL yet. Like
no.
He's riding the wave.
100%. He's probably enjoying it more than I am.
And you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, no, he loves it. It's pretty cool to see him after games. Like, and he gets around all the players and all the parents. It's quite funny.
How does it go for you when you walk into the rooms and you see your old man wearing a Carlton Guernsey in the rooms afterwards?
I mean, it is pretty funny.
You're happy with it?
I am.
Yeah.
And, it's quite annoying when we play Collingwood and they win and I have to drive him home because he'd be in the back seat telling me about it a little bit. I'm like,
has he officially?
Yeah, I reckon he has. But sometimes he does make comments in the back of the car on the way home after a Collingwood loss, and I am tempted to drive past Flinders Street and tell him train stations there you can catch a train. But no, I reckon he's 100%.
Well, he had regrettably the 2023 grand final. Obviously, Collingwood made it. Collingwood won. There is a world where I'm sure Carlton supporters have lived in the hypothetical world where obviously Charlie Curnow puts us 5 goals up in a prelim. Yep. You play that day, you start that game very well as well. There is a world where Jason Boyd's team of Collingwood, who's followed all his life, could have been playing against his son in a grand final.
I know.
In one of the biggest games that the footy world's ever seen.
It would have been interesting.
What would that week have looked like for him in this hypothetical world?
It's a great question.
Would he have wanted a Boyd, Norm Smith and a Collingwood win, or would he have wanted a Carlton win?
I think he said he couldn't lose that week.
Okay.
At that point.
Yeah.
Because if obviously we won the flag, we'd be very happy. But
yeah.
Actually, that's a cop out from him.
I think so.
I reckon
you can't not lose in a Carlton Collingwood grand.
Yeah,
that
had to be a cop out for him.
Would he have gone to the half and half kit?
No, I would have absolutely not allowed that. I wouldn't have given him a ticket. 100% wouldn't have allowed that to happen. I think he does actually have one. That
can't be a thing.
I think Mum's mum, my nan, made him one, and like he will never wear it, but I'm pretty sure he's got one.
That would get a lot of that.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, that can't be a thing. We have to outlaw that immediately.
I know. Or I'm I'm confirming that he's 100% on Carlton.
Well, he's obviously made multiple appearances on our Carlton media channels.
Yeah, hates it.
You hate it. He loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
How's your mum feel about it? Is she fine?
Yeah, she's a little bit the opposite, I reckon. Likes to hide away a bit. She thinks it's quite funny. Because you'll come home and like say that, I'm on the Carlton thingo again. All the boys down at Spotty giving me shit.
That's a great
for
impression
it.
of your dad, by the way. That's
Yeah. And like he's like, they're all giving me stick down to the club for it. And I'm like, you're complaining, you love it.
Yeah.
Come on. But he actually said he wants Billy Wilson's dad, who is, I reckon, very similar.
Well,
You should mic him up for the next Parents' Day.
Billy did mention to me that Aaron's coming for Jason Boyd's crown.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you agree?
Dad, no, this is coming from Dad.
Oh, he's passing the torch over.
Dad said your next Dad's Day, because they had like a Christmas parent thingo, and he was speaking to him. He's like, Billy Wilson's dad, you got to get him marked up.
Well, we might have to make that happen.
Yeah,
Mic'd up battles, the two of them together.
that would just be chaos.
It would be.
It would be
I wouldn't want
genuinely
Beck to be
chaos.
editing that, so that's
I
fine.
feel sorry for whoever's editing that.
Speaking of Billy, speaking of your other teammates, who's impressing you this preseason so far?
Cooper Lord.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of Cooper mentions. Anyone else?
All right. Well, all right. I'll
Because
give you
only
some
because
of
we love Scoop. He's been mentioned for 3 episodes in a row now. So,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's
it makes sense.
it's working for him,
You've
yeah.
said who's impressing.
Yeah. Locker buddy as well, of course, for you.
Yeah, obviously you got to represent that side of the locker. Who's impressing me? Lewis has been training really well.
Yep.
I'll give him a quick shout out.
Shout out to Lewis.
Who have I like? Oh, Lemmy. Lemmy's been moving well. Rob Monahan, I reckon.
Well, you took him under your wing this time last year.
A little bit, yeah. I reckon he's improving a fair bit compared to where he was last year, which makes sense.
Do you
He's
wonder
not
about
playing
his
the game.
decision making, not in terms of a football sense, but the fact that in his first few weeks in Australia, he came with you to a music festival?
Why are you questioning that decision making? Isn't it?
It's a great way to say, hey, welcome to Melbourne.
Yeah, well, he landed off a plane. He was going to spend New Year's by himself, and I was like, mate, you can't do that.
Come along.
Come with me. And yeah, we had good fun. That was good fun. Good wholesome night.
Any more coming up this?
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't planned anything.
That's growth from you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll find out. Now, it's been a while into this podcast. And again, thank you for being the first two-time guest. We had Brodie Kemp on, I reckon, this corresponding episode last year, and we got the feedback fairly quickly that it's probably no surprise that 20 minutes of the 30-minute podcast was spent with me and him just talking about the English Premier League.
Right.
It is a fair chunk of what there's a crew of us at the club. That's all we talk about.
Yeah, we can keep this short and sweet.
What I'm
happy
gonna do
that. I'm happy to do that.
Is I'm going to get a timer out.
All right. I mean, this
30 seconds on the following topics, and that's all you can talk
30
about.
seconds.
30 seconds, and then I'll just go to the next one, all right?
All right, no worries.
The current plight of your beloved Wolves.
Yeah, look, today, couple of iffy decisions. We should have had a few penalties. But yeah, it hasn't been a great start to the year. We've had a tough run, but I reckon we'll be okay.
And a big West Ham contingent at the club as well, who have let you know about this morning's result.
Yeah, but they clearly haven't seen the two or three penalties that should have been paid. But anyway, we'll see.
That was 20 seconds. Well done.
Yeah.
We'll start again. Fantasy Premier League.
Hey,
One
we're
and two.
both 1 and 2. Yeah, we're going right. Going right. I just need to make a few changes. Obviously, won't say them in front of you.
Yeah, it's very serious business.
Yeah.
Generally, you get people dropping off and jumping back.
No,
on.
everyone's taking it pretty seriously. Like
Yeah.
all the boys down the bottom are putting a lot of time and effort into it and going nowhere, which is quite funny. Sucked in, dirts. Comes out to you.
We'll start again. The Melbourne victory.
Going well, are they? We're going well, aren't we?
They are. We are. Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to see us going well again. It's good. Hopefully we can continue that form.
Well, you rocked up to a game last year with the Melbourne victory scarf on. That was the day of the grand final.
Yep.
You're very much.
Oh, that was flattening, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it too
Yeah,
much. But
yeah.
But yeah, we're
Back in the day, was right into it. Loved it.
on the terraces.
Yeah. Oh, may or may not have been, but yeah, no, loved it. I dropped off a little bit, but starting to get back into it. We've been to a few games together. It's been good. Pito as well. Pito's a big Melbourne victory fan.
He is. And speaking of Pito, 30 seconds on Daniel Ricciardo losing his F1 seat.
Oh, can we put this up to half an hour. Oh my
30
goodness.
seconds, Jordan.
Well, I'm hearing rumours that Perez is going at the end of the season and Piastri might be filling that role.
Look,
I actually saw a video the other day about them putting all their eggs in Verstappen and it kind of like kicking all the younger drivers out, like Pierre Gasly and Albon. That kind of could come back to haunt them. We'll see how we go next year. It'll be interesting. McLaren obviously went very well.
Sorry, that's bang on 30. No more. Apologies. Ryan Harris bowling Alistair Cook.
Oh, can we just like get that up? Replay that for like an
Is
hour?
that like your top sporting moment ever?
Oh, it'd be up there. Pat Cummins getting Rohit Sharma the other day.
It was very nice.
Oh, that is, but that it's similar ball to the one he bowled Joe Root. Remember that? Was it at Lords?
Top of off at Lords, yeah.
Lords first ball. Oh, does it get better than that? I don't know.
Peter Siddle's hat trick on his birthday.
That tops Ryan Harris, doesn't it? And then Mark Nicholas. Not yet. Shut up, Mark. That would ruin the moment.
Well, I've got a theory about, and that's the 30-second section done, but I've got a theory. You obviously love your football.
Yeah.
Your AFL.
Yeah.
You love the position you're in now.
Correct.
Is AFL footy in your top 3 sports?
It's a good question.
Because I would argue...
In terms of like playing or like
just
watching?
interest levels, enjoyment.
Well, obviously it's number 1 for playing.
Yeah, I'd hope.
Watching?
Yeah.
Possibly not.
Possibly not.
Controversially.
Because those 3
not.
are what you base most of your time. Outside of music, it's cricket, it's
Formula 1.
And it's football or soccer.
Yeah, big time. No, I love those 3. It just sucks that they're all on at like midnight or whatever. Formula 1's dropped off a little bit because the season got wrapped up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But the back end has been very interesting. The George Max thing.
Very good.
Very good.
Very much enjoyed.
I just think Formula 1 needs a big rivalry between 2 drivers that genuinely
And it looks
hate
like
each
it's
other,
coming back.
and that could be very exciting. Like, that are willing to crash into each other.
That's what we want.
Nico Rosberg, Hamilton style.
Yeah.
Like,
While also, like Australian Grand Prix next year, first race on the calendar again.
Yeah. It's good to be back first race of the
And
year.
we've got great friends at Puma who also are partners with Ferrari. There's a new driver next year. If you want to get him down to Icon Park at any point, we'd be happy to have Lewis and Charles here.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to that, am I?
Let's make it happen. I don't know who can make that happen, but let's make it happen.
You can
for
make
next
that
year.
happen. You have a connection, don't you?
God no.
Someone has a connection.
Someone would, but it is not me.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll try and get that happen.
But you do like football, don't you? AFL, you do like it.
Yeah.
Just to confirm.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, like, I love playing footy. Love watching my mates play at local level. Watching it, I'm not a big watcher of the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do a lot of vision and stuff, so I like to step outside of the game and take my mind off it a bit. But I like watching big games that are close.
Yeah.
I prefer watching it with like friends as well, so that I can hear their opinions and talk a bit of smack with them while we watch it.
Friends like Adam Sard, or do you only see him at the Carlton Football Club?
No, well, he only... Yeah, because he doesn't leave his area. Like,
it's a good area, to be fair.
Yeah, but he refuses to leave whatever postcode
Hadfield
Coburg
is.
Yeah.
Hadfield, Coburg, that general area.
Yeah. That's the best I'll get is like he'll FaceTime me. He's not leaving his area. I promise you.
Well, we used to have the David Cunningham section of this podcast.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to fill that in ever since. What can you tell us about Adam Sard that we might not know?
That you might not know.
Because I feel like we know.
You know a fair bit.
But like, you know more than most other people.
Yeah, but I don't know what you do and you don't know. He's actually pretty funny. He can be. And he has like a pretty dry sense of humor or a lot of dad jokes. What else? Oh, yeah. I don't think people actually realize how annoying he can be as well.
But everyone loves him.
With those jokes, sort of thing. He like plays dumb a lot.
Well, we might have to go for another trip to A1 Bakery next month just to run it back with you and him.
That was shenanigans, wasn't it? I actually got a compliment on field. Have I told you that?
Christian Petrarca?
Yeah. We're playing in the practice match pre-season. I'm trying to like listen to what New was saying to me. And then he comes up to me and goes, "Oh, that video you did with Sardi at A1 Bakery is one of the funniest things I've ever seen." I was like, "Wait, what? What's going on?" And then Newey's like screaming at me to like move.
That's not like Newey.
No, pretty standard for him.
Well,
but it's fair enough.
Speaking of Christian Petrarca obviously got a bit of a brander himself for his TikTok.
Yep.
You back yourself in the kitchen.
See?
Top 3 things you've cooked.
Top 3 things that I've cooked?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. A lot of people ask when you say you're somewhat okay in the kitchen, what's your speciality? I don't know. Like, I've got like my best friend's a chef, so
That helps.
it's a bit of almost cheating.
Yeah.
I'm learning off him, and he's a pretty damn good one. Must say, it's good. Like when we hang out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll cook," and he just cooks up like I promise you, it's like this most gourmet sort of thing, simple, and you're like, "What the hell am I eating? This is amazing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, just threw it together. Oh, I don't think it's any good."
Just something quick.
And you're like, "Mate, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. What are you on about?"
Mate, give me your top 3.
Well, I feel like I'm pretty competent at pasta.
Yeah.
The hand making of the pasta. I'd like to do different shapes and stuff now and try and match the shape of the sauces. That's what I'm thinking of doing.
Yep.
At the moment, I'm trying to perfect chocolate mousse. I don't really eat it, but everyone else
you wanna make it?
likes it. Yeah, I don't have a dessert. I'm horrible at making desserts because you have to follow instructions. That's not my thing. Like, I'll just add a bit of this, tastes okay. Oh, I need to add this. That's how I like cooking. But dessert, you got to be very precise.
And one more.
I made mashed potato the other day. It was pretty banging.
Happy with it?
I was very happy with it. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on.
Yeah, Grace's mum very much enjoyed it. Grace not so much, but I think there was a bit of carry on from her. She doesn't like truffle, and it was truffle oil in it. And it was.
You're getting a bit fancy for me, but
it didn't really have the flavour of it. Anyway, she was carrying on a bit. I'll say that. Yeah.
we'll move on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grace, by the way. Big fan of the show. Final question, getting the wrap up.
Oh.
Why do you play football, Jordan Boyd?
Whoa.
Yep.
Jeez.
Serious, deep question to finish off.
Deep question. No, well, I guess as a kid, loved it. I think Dad may or may not. I think this is true. Took me to the footy before I could walk to give Mum a break, but he wanted to go to the footy, so he thought I'll bring a under 1-year-old to the footy. Apparently, I sat there and watched the whole game.
Nice.
So
that's more than you watch now.
Yeah, fair. But no, and then growing up, loved playing footy, and then playing with your mates through local level, enjoyed it, and every level I've gone up, enjoyed it more. So, just for the fun of it, I guess.
Nice. Good answer.
Sweet.
Happy to come back on the show.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
See you in 2 years' time.
Same time next year or in 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah,
We'll have it in the 2-year rotation.
All
Yeah.
right, no worries.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely.